A mystery in Philadelphia was finally partially solved after almost 66 years, when the body of a small murdered boy was at long last identified via forensic genealogy as 4-year-old Joseph Augustus Zarelli on the 8th of December 2022. The identity of his killer or killers remains to be solved. Due to accounts of the case on the internet and a book written about the events, this was a famous mystery. There is a less well-known parallel in Australia, which remains unsolved. On the 3rd of May 1965, a brown paper parcel was received at the Nucky Street Post Office in Darwin, Northern Territory. Among the other packages, it at first was indistinguishable. Soon, however, one of the employees, John Polishuk, noticed that something was leaking from the package and a nasty smell was being emitted. The postmaster ordered on the 11th of May that the package be opened to determine what it contained. To the horror of the mailmen, once the paper was opened and layers of newspaper and a polythene plastic bag peeled back, they uncovered the naked body of a dead baby boy. The tiny infant was newborn, with the umbilical cord still attached. The baby had not been born prematurely. Medical opinion was that he had died anywhere between birth and 2 days old. From the way the cord was cut, it was apparent that trained medical assistance had not been provided. The cause of death was murder. A woman's silk stocking had been tightly tied around the baby's neck 3 or 4 times, compressing the neck acutely, although the autopsy could not immediately confirm that strangulation was the cause of death. The stocking was removed only after a lot of time and difficulty. There were no other signs of violence on the little body. The doctor who conducted the examination was distressed and physically sick from the ordeal, according to Denver Marchant, one of the police officers working on the case. When police were called in, the badly decomposed body was placed in a plastic bag and taken to the morgue at Darwin Hospital. The package it arrived in was then examined. It had been addressed to J. Anderson from J.F. Barnes of 2 Woolridge Avenue, Mentone, Victoria. There were several people in Darwin with the surname Anderson, but it was thought the name had been chosen at random. Nobody in the city, which then had a population of just over 20,000, could be linked to the gruesome package. Neither person was ever proven to be real, and the Mentone address was a fake. There is no Woolridge Avenue in Australia, the closest match being a Wooldridge Avenue in Millswood, a suburb of Adelaide. There is also a Wooldridge Street at Birkenhead in Adelaide. Whether or not this name was picked at random or suggests a link to Adelaide is a mystery. The pages used to wrap the body were from the Sun News Pictorial, dated 26th of April 1965, a Melbourne paper. There was no note or other articles found in the parcel. The body had been mailed from a Brunswick post office in Melbourne, 2,200 miles to Darwin. Inquiries were made there, but nobody could recall who lodged the parcel. The inquest was inconclusive. The baby's body was believed to have been sent to Adelaide, as it was mentioned that if any further forensic examination was required, there would be undertaken there. The fate of the remains is unknown. An amateur true crime sleuth discovered that a stillborn child named Anderson was buried with other stillborn children in a mass grave at West Terrace Cemetery on the 15th of December 1966, but this may be a coincidence. It is likely the baby was buried at this cemetery, unless the body remains forgotten on a laboratory shelf somewhere. As the crime was committed in Victoria, the investigation was passed on to them by the Darwin police. A number of theories for the weird incident were proposed. A popular one was that the father of the baby lived in Darwin and had deserted the mother or refused to marry her, and that by killing the baby and posting it to him, she gained a ghoulish type of revenge. A more involved theory was that a man had discovered his wife was pregnant by another man and killed the baby and posted it to the lover. He may or may not have also murdered his wife. The most likely reason the baby's body was posted was simply to get rid of it. Sending it to Darwin was like sending it to the end of the world, and the delay in finding the body would work in the person's favour. Most newborn killings are done by the mother during postnatal depression. If this baby had been killed by his mother, she could have been desperate to cover up all evidence of the birth, leading to the bizarre method of disposal. Whatever occurred 57 years ago remains as sad and mysterious today as then, unlike little Joseph Zarelli, probably destined to remain forever in the dark corners of history.